humbled by the support we have received. And we also want to take this opportunity to thank our ground forces for the hard work they've put into the whole campaign. They were in it against a well-oiled machinery which spent 1 billion and the others more than 300 million. Yet our people just worked from a position of commitment to ensure that they deliver votes for the EFF. We're encouraged by those young women and men, including the elderly people, who have worked very hard to make the EFF to be a role player. I'm happy that the EFF has managed to increase its support base and increased its presence in the South African politics. We're speaking here today, the EFF exists in all corners of South Africa. We are happy that the EFF is the first organization to humble the ANC, the most arrogant organization which thought that it is entitled to leadership position in South Africa. And the EFF came in and humbled it to a point where the leadership of the ANC is running around like headless chickens. They do not know whether they are coming or going because of this 3-year-old organization. And if this organization can do that in 3 years' time, you can imagine what this organization is going to do for South Africans. And we are happy that the EFF has actually ensured that the ANC get less than 60% nationally, because the ANC receiving a majority of votes thought that they were doing something right. Now the whispering is too loud. The message is clear, the writing is on the wall, and 2019 is going to be a serious challenge for the ruling party. We hear that people are talking about coalitions in other municipalities, particularly in the metros. We want to put it on record that no one has approached us. And therefore we are unable to speak about coalition because we are not the party that received the majority anyway. I thought the people who must approach others are those who are leading in those metros, and not the small parties approaching the bigger parties, because that amounts to uncontrollable desire for power, something we do not suffer from. So after elections, I was at home with my grandmother. There was nothing I was doing, really, taking some rest, because the people are busy counting the elections. So we have not been busy engaging with anyone. We are not going to do that. We're not going to talk to anyone. We're not going to approach anyone. We will wait for those who are interested to approach us, and then we'll take the discussion from there. A point has been made very clearly by the leadership of the EFF that we are not prepared to speak to the ANC or engage in any form of coalition with the ANC. But you all know that we exist in a democratic country. We cannot close our ears when we are spoken to by anyone. So far, no one is talking to us. But we are celebrating. We've done very well, and we are happy the ANC has been punished. Throughout the campaign, I said, we must punish the ANC. We must humble the ANC. The ANC is arrogant. And I've given myself a personal task to ensure that in my lifetime, I want to see the ANC out of power, so that those who come after the ANC should know that no one is entitled to position of power. They must know that there is no contract between politicians and the voter that says, till death do us apart. There's no such a contract. Here, our marriage depends on your ability to deliver. We want a government which is a blesser to the poor. If you are not a blesser to the poor as government, you are out. And the poor masses of our people have done exactly that. Congratulations, South Africa. We are hopeful. We are highly motivated. We are soldiering on. We are winning this battle. I've never seen them so humbled, even on TVs, even on their table here. You can see that the mood of 2014 and the mood of today are different. If we're in America, the Americans were going to be showing us the footages. You see, the problem here at home is that we are not that advanced with our journalists. Americans were going to be showing us the footages of 2014 and the footages of 2016. So I'm challenging you to show us the mood of 2014 and the footages of 2016 from a table of the ANC. Tables have turned. We warned them. Don't play against the Constitution. You will not win when you play against the Constitution. The Constitution of South Africa today is dancing because they undermined it. The people have been speaking and saying, don't do what you are doing. They were not listening. Now today I hear the similarities between the ANC and the EFF through ANC spokespersons and the SG. No, the EFF is a natural ally. How? Were you not thinking about that when you were beating us up in Parliament? You should have thought that this day will come. So, Adiba, yeah. Thank you.
Excellent. Let's thank you very much, Commander-in-Chief. I'm going to take the first round of questions. I'll start with Aldrin.
You went on various rallies saying that the EFF will be in power in some municipalities. That again has not happened. Are you not disappointed with the party and its performance? And was it a strategic move from the EFF side not to announce its mayoral candidates because you foresaw that something like this would happen and the party might be embarrassed?
No, not at all. What needs to happen is that we cannot be embarrassed from moving from 0 to 8. There's no such an embarrassment. Otherwise, you will also be suffering from arrogance. You think you are entitled. We're not entitled. We're a new kid on the block, 3-year-old, and South Africans have just given us 8% confidence. Just on a start. Come on, man. Give it to us.
Number 2.
We're not doing anything, ma'am. We're not engaging in any talks. We're not doing anything extraordinary. My coming here is to accept defeat and say to the fighters, well done, let's soldier on. It ends here. Then we'll see what happens after. If anyone comes to us, we'll talk. We are not doing anything. Elections are over. We're here to accept the results. Tomorrow they are being announced officially. The EFF will have representatives, and that's the end of it. Then we're going on with building the organization. I'm not looking for any metro. The people of South Africa have not given us any metro. And I'm not going to engage in any negotiation that seeks to undermine the will of the people. The will of the people must be respected at all times. Whatever the political maneuverings, whatever the political engagements whoever is having with whoever, wherever, don't undermine the will of the people. Even if there is no an outright winner, the indication will be clear who the people preferred in that area. Don't use your position to reverse the will of the people. It shows that one has got good relationship with the people he lives with. And it was humbling to win a place where you come from. Because that's where it needs to start, really. You ought to win the confidence of those who know you from your childhood. If they can say, this is the person we know and we can trust this person, then going forward, you know you've got a mandate from home. So I've got my neighbor's mandate. I don't know about the other side, but I've got my neighbor's mandate, because people went to queue with their neighbors there. But when the time came, the neighbors turned against them. So yeah, it's a humbling thing, and it says to us, there's something right we're doing. Because if there was something wrong we're doing, the neighbors were going to be the first ones to notice that this is not the child we groomed in this area. So yeah, and then there can't be conditions if there are no negotiations on coalition. So there's not Such thing doesn't even cross our mind. We're not there. We're done. We're here to tell you we're done. We accept the results. We're happy. IEC, congratulations, free and fair. We're very happy. Well, we had hoped to win one municipality so that we can demonstrate to South Africa how the EFF government would look like. And the South Africans said it was not the time to demonstrate. You firstly have to demonstrate the strength and the growth before we can even entrust you with running the smallest municipality. So the EFF will continue to participate in Parliament, represent our people, and it will participate in the local government councils. That's where we're going to make our impact. All the wards that are won by the EFF, the basic necessities like water, will provide from the EFF party fund. We are going to do the boreholes in the areas where we won the ward. If people don't have water, we are going to help in the wards where the EFF has won. We will not rely on the municipality to help our ward. We are going to try and do everything in our power because we know that where the EFF has won a ward, such a ward is going to be a victim of those who are in power. So we have to somehow find a way of ensuring that that ward gets support. And we are going to do that in those wards that we have won. And we are going to help some of the needy kids in those wards who want to go to school and the parents do not have money. So our wards must be ready to receive some form of assistance directly from the EFF because we are grateful of the type of support those wards have given to us. We will take from every EFF member of Parliament, by the way, contribute money from her salary, the same thing from the councillors, and we'll put together those resources and see how best we help. When we're doing door-to-door in Malamulele, in the villages, we're touched by the conditions of our people. Some villagers were even saying to us, stop promising us the roads and all because they are impossible. It looks like they are not real. Can you just come and do a borehole because there is no single borehole here. And when we did a quotation with the deputy president of the borehole, it's 60,000 rand to do a borehole of 10,000 liters. And we're like, but we don't have to wait for us to take over government. We just have to help these people who don't have basic thing like water. And it doesn't, make the EFF lose anything to take 60,000 to go and give a needy village a borehole. So we're going to be looking into things like that as a way of appreciating those who have voted for the EFF. Can you imagine the ANC comes here and they say they want to talk to me and I'm like, I can't do that. That would be very, I don't want a situation where you see us talking to ANC and then you're like, you never say, you said it didn't, you won't talk to them. We're talking to them but moving from a particular principle. That says we are not prepared to get into a coalition with the ANC, but it doesn't mean you can't talk to them. We are elders like this. We are matured like that. We must listen to each other. That's what constitutes our democracy. That's what makes it to be what it is. The ability to talk to one another, the ability to listen to each other. She's talking about code, the electoral code. The electoral code is also not above the Constitution. It's also our right to refuse to speak to you. It's not an insult. We don't want to talk to you. And it is within our right to say so. So if we don't, and we have made it very clear that we don't want to talk to ANN7 because ANN7 is not a news agency. It's masquerading as news agency, but it's an institution that promotes racketeering and fraud and all sorts of criminal activities in this country. So we are refusing and no one is going to force us, not even electoral court. We are prepared to go to our graves for refusing to speak to NN7. Prison is too small. So if there is any law we have contradicted, let us be arrested for refusing to speak to NN. She's an agent. She's exactly that. And if she didn't want to hear those words from the deputy president, she should have played very far. Because she knows how we feel about ANN7. So we're not going to even apologize for that. These journalists, we worked with them. Not a single journalist here will say was censored or harassed or anything by the EFF. That's who we are. We are refusing to legitimize a gangster which has captured our country. We are not part of that. We are going to fight tooth and nail to liberate this country from Zuma, from the Guptas. And if you thought we're joking about that, you have to think twice. We feel very strong about that. Our country has been captured. Our country is being molested by the Guptas and Jacob Zuma without a Vaseline. And this is going to help us in a sense that we now have soldiers everywhere which are paid with resources. So you've got an extra human capital which has got extra resources and then helps to prepare you much better to fight in 2019. The reality of the situation is that this money thing is playing a big role in this election. People have spent 1 billion here doing a deb. Journalists, artists rather, paid to do debbing. 1 million. Debbing has fallen now. Debbing has fallen. Asinavalo, nonsense. Everywhere they are suffering from valo now. Debbing, 1 billion for debbing. Pugutu. Does not produce any results. Why? Because you used rappers with unconscious rappers who are in it for money. They don't have commitment. They can't be compared to Yuma Sikil and Miriam Makeb. They can't. They are in it for money. When the EFF fights with them, they call the EFF on the side. Guys, there's too much money here. You can't refuse us to take this money. There's just too much money. Now, there is the treasurer of the Youth League, Reggie. What is Reggie's name? Reggie, the TG of the Youth League. He established a company called Mabala Noise for music. Then they take all the celebrities. You know, Reggie gave each artist he registered under Mabala not less than 5 million each. Where does Reggie get the money from? No journalist has ever asked that treasurer of the Youth League. He brought Chris Brown in Durban during Durban July, paid Chris Brown 10 million. And he never made back that 10 million. Why? Because they were launching that Mabala Noise so that Mabala Noise can go and capture the celebrities in the name of them being registered under a progressive company called Mabala Noise. Then they take the Mabala Noise celebrities into the ANC events. Not a single artist of Mabala Noise. You must go and investigate Mabala Noise. Not an all artists that are registered by Mabala Noise, from Ricky Rick, Measure League, all of them. Not a single artist registered under Mabala Noise received less than 5 million. If they think I'm talking nonsense, they must sue me. Then the suing process will give them an opportunity to produce how much they paid those artists. That's why I challenge them here. So Mabala Noise is owned by the treasurer of the Youth League. The treasurer of the Youth League goes under the pretext of registering artists of this company. Then they take that company artist into the ANC events. Where does Reggie make money? Reggie makes money from water and sanitation. because he's got some special kind of a relationship with Nomvula Mkwenyane. Nomvula likes them young. Now, that's how Reggie became a favorite of Nomvula Mkwenyane and then received water tenders, sanitation tenders as a favorite. Now they're taking the water money through Mabala Noise as if it's music. No, they take money through Reggie. It's a scheme, it's racketeering. It's money laundering. Reggie goes bid for water and sanitation. Then they give Reggie money for water and sanitation. He takes the money, he puts it in the Mabala Noise. Then the Mabala Noise goes and pay the artist to go and do the dubbing for the ANC, 5 million each. Now, when I say Nomvula likes them young, somebody say, hey, they are young, all those people who are working there next to Nomvula. Oh, Nomvula, it's young boys, including Jimmy Tau. We can give you a long list of young boys who are being empowered by Nomvula. Empowered how differently, I don't know. Well, popularly, you always argue that you write differently and you come across as not being scared to speak truth to power. And all of a sudden, it looks like you're suffering from talking truth to power because you say you don't know how much the people have spent. When the ANC told you they spent 1 billion, you know that.
Could have been 2.
No, but they say 1 billion. Let's take it from them. They told you they spent 1 billion. The DA said 350 million. And then we said not anything above 10 million. We don't have a problem with the party funding regulation. Any method that can arrest and expose corruption, we support. And if we think that this method of party funding regulation will support, expose corruption, and arrest this thing of splashing money in the name of elections, then let it come. But it has got its own dynamic as well. Those who finance the EFF, those who finance the DA, and those who are not in power may as well be victims of those who are in power, because we know the ANC is vindictive. Anyone seems to be supporting the opposite direction. It's not only with business. If you just wear a T-shirt of the EFF, you run a risk of not getting a job of EPWP. So imagine if you have put money in the EFF. So all of that have to be looked at broadly, so we ensure that we do not compromise democracy. One of the options we have is that we may as well say the people must expose who's financing them, and then after that we must increase the party political funding, so that when the political support drops, there is an alternative to support the democracy in South Africa, because this democracy has to be financed somehow. We don't believe in the politics of putting celebrity up and paying them. We don't believe in the politics of patronage and giving people T-shirts. I saw you saying the EFF was criticizing the ANC, yet they are giving people T-shirts at their rally. That is identity. It's a party identity. We are in our rally. It must reflect the raid. There is no any other way you can do it. But to do door to door with a full of T-shirts here, not pamphlets. When not pamphlets. You don't give people pamphlets, you give them T-shirts. When they say the ANC is not delivering, you silence them with a T-shirt. Hey, we are not working. Give them T-shirts. That's wrong. We must distribute pamphlets more than T-shirts. But in our events, exclusive EFF event, there must be a party identity. People must have party identity because it's an EFF event. But not door to door, not when you've got visibility in the taxi ranks, and then instead of informing people of what you're going to do or what you have done, you are giving them T-shirts. That we don't agree with. money. There's no way for you to have the tracks. You have to get money. For you to have the stage and sound, you have to get money. Peter Mokaba Stadium, how much we paid?
It's about 400 and something thousand.
400 and something thousand. Orlando, they were charging us 1.1.
1.8.
1.8. We negotiated until 700,000. So can you imagine, for you to get a venue, 1.8 million, you can't get that venue. And therefore it means, and then when we go to a small stadium, which is 30,000 rand, Daily Maverick, there's going to be a huge article. They are resorting to small stadiums because their support is not nice. We have to go to big stadiums to also demonstrate that we've got support. It comes with huge costs. So we are paying for necessary things, not luxury, not dabbing, not as those things they were doing of fashion parade. There's now fashion parade, fashion show, or fashion show, and now there's nice clothes. This election, I like them because a lot of them went to buy new clothes for celebration, and the celebration is not a penny. Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, we're enjoying it. Nice. Yeah, they bought the 2-piece. They wanted to look nice. Nothing. Badly. And then compare EFF 2011 to 2016, brother, and talk about confidence. Don't just throw away confidence. Relatively, the people have passed a motion of confidence in the EFF from 0 to 8 wards so far. We're happy. You didn't have anything, now you have something and then you want to complain. Stop behaving like a spoiled brat, man. You have something now, build from that. And then you will be a strong party in the future. So we never fielded celebrities, well-known politicians on the ground. Those 8 people you are talking about, they are nobodies. The people said to them, we trust you with the future of this ward. So it's a sign of confidence, and we are more than happy with the outcomes of this election. No matter how many wards we get, you are saying to us we must ignore the PR, as if the PR is useless, because you want to project a particular picture. Even the PR matters, brother. We now, it's a vote. It has got its own ballot. And we are in, you like it or not. You know very well you are dealing with leaders of society and not just some small boys who are going to be told, yes or no, yes or no. We must be treated with respect the same way we respect you. We've answered that question, and I'm not going to repeat myself. I said we are matured politicians, and we've got principles that we've established, and then we'll take it from there. Well, there are no kings and queens. I don't know why there is their kingmaker. It's Matuma, you see. Because Matuma comes from villages there in Limpopo there. So there are kings and queens there. So he thinks even in politics there are such arrangements. There are no kings and queens here. We don't have any kingmaker. We are not such things. We want the people's municipality. Yeah. Let the municipality serve our people, because the day you guys start calling them queens and kings, you want them to start behaving like that. You are planting in their minds the narrative that suggests they are kings. They are not kings. They are servants of the people. And that's how they must understand it throughout. So we are not in the business of making queens and kings. We are in the business of ensuring that local government is accountable to our people and it serves our people. Thank you very much.
Last question.
Oh, I thought we were done. They never spoke to us. And we will talk to the DA. We'll talk to everyone. And we'll take it from there. Remember, the EFF has got some non-negotiable principles, which whoever we engage with will have to adhere to those principles. But I don't know why you are all like that in the country where there is a hung municipality, you're all talking about coalition. Why is there no one talking about the rerun of a municipality? Let's go on a rerun. If we can't agree, let's go on a rerun. Let's go on a rerun. So I'm saying it's not a coalition at all costs. And there's not going to be a coalition at all costs. We are not in that business. We have to agree on the land with everyone who wants to speak to us. If we can't agree, let's go on a rerun. But if the other one has got 49, he's just scared that if he goes on his own, these ones may gang up with the EFF against them. We will pull out, we'll abstain. ANC, let's give the people the land. If they don't agree, that's fine. DA, if they don't agree, that's fine. Go and constitute your own municipality. They can't find each other because of the numbers is hang for real. Let's go on a rerun. And then, if it's not hang, it's just that the other one has got a majority, and they are scared if you vote with the other one, they will lose. We will abstain. Let them go. We're more than happy to be an opposition. I'm not desperate to be anything anywhere. We're building this thing from the ground nicely. It's cruising nicely. Why rush? Why rush? Why should the ANC think we must rescue it? Why should the DA think that we must be the ones to promote white arrogance and privilege? Come, let them come here. They will get more than what they bargained for. By the time we finish those meetings, we'll be agreeing on a concrete program on how we're going to change the life of an African child. I'm not fighting for white people. Neither am I fighting against them. They've got nothing to fight for. Everything else they're asking for is to protect privilege. That's all they want. DA must tell me, from this coalition, how does an African child benefit? That's all we're asking. An African child must benefit from anything else the EFF is going to constitute. If the African child doesn't stand to benefit anything, the door is open. Why should it be people be so disparately? Because this disparation, money is going to exchange hands now. If we allow this disparation to go on, some people are going to be given money now in the EFF. Because we allow disparation. Two things, there are three options. One, coalition. Two, rerun. Three, abstain. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, and have a great weekend.
It's going to be interesting for a very long time.
It's not over.
Not over.